Okay, let's be real. Have you ever listened to jazz and felt like you were trying to read a secret code? Like everyone else is in on this cool, complicated secret? Well, guess what? Today, we're hacking the mainframe. We are going to break down that code and figure out what makes jazz one of the most creative, well, most awesome forms of music out there. And we're going to start by looking at it in a way you've probably never thought of before. So picture this. You're watching your favorite pro gaming team in a huge tournament. But here's the twist. They have no set plays. None. They're making up brand new strategies on the fly, reacting to each other instantly, just based on pure instinct and insane teamwork. That kind of real-time, high-stakes creativity, yeah, that's literally what's happening in a jazz band. They're doing it with instruments instead of controllers. And this mind-blowing skill of just making it up as you go has a name: improvisation. And trust me, that one word is the master key that unlocks pretty much everything we're going to get into today. So let's talk about making music on the spot. This is like the ultimate power-up for a musician. So let's break this down. Think of most of the music you listen to. It's kind of like building IKEA furniture, right? You get a set of instructions, you follow them step by step, and boom, everyone ends up with the exact same bookshelf. It's predictable. But jazz? Jazz is completely different. It's like someone dumps a giant box of Legos in front of you. You know what the pieces are, you know how they fit together, but what you actually build is totally 100% up to you. And the craziest part? Every time you play, you can build something completely new. Now hold on, this doesn't mean it's just total chaos, like someone just mashing random buttons. No way. There are rules. The musicians all have a shared map, basically the song's chords. Everyone agrees, okay, we're starting here and we need to get to that point. But how they get there, the path they take, that's where the freedom comes in. Each player gets to create their own unique route, their own story, all in real time. So, what does it actually look like when someone takes a solo? Well, it's pretty much like your turn in a team game. First, you got to know the map. You need to understand the chord structure of the song. That's non-negotiable. Second, and this is huge, you have to listen to your team. What are the other players doing? Is the drummer building up a ton of energy? Is the bassist laying down a super cool groove? You react to that. Then, step 3, you tell your story. You play your version. And finally, the pro move, knowing when to pass the mic. You gotta know when your turn is over and it's time to let your teammates shine. See? It's all about the team. A soloist can't do it alone, right? Every hero needs a squad. And in jazz, that squad, the absolute backbone of the band, is the rhythm section. These are the unsung heroes. So let's meet the squad. First up, you've got the drummer. Think of them as the timekeeper and the hype man, all in one. They keep the pulse steady, but also crank up the energy. Then there's the bass player. They're the navigator, the foundation. They play those low notes that just ground everything and guide the band through the chords. And the piano or guitar player, they're the architect. They're literally building the structure, the harmonic rules that everyone else gets to play within. So, just to put it all together, without the drums, there's no energy, it's kind of boring. Without the bass, everything falls apart, it's just confusing. And without the chords from the piano or guitar, it's just random notes. But when they lock in together, they create this unstoppable groove that gives the soloists the freedom to just fly. Okay, so we've got the players, we know their roles, but what about the vibe of the game itself? You know, the secret code? Well, in jazz, that all comes down to 2 key things: the blues and swing. Let's start with the blues. The blues is basically the emotional core of jazz. I mean, it's its soul. It grew out of African-American folk songs, so it carries all this history and feeling, both the struggle and the joy. And musically, it's often built on this really simple, repeating 12-bar pattern. Think of it like a familiar game level. Because the structure is so predictable, it gives the musicians a safe space to get really creative and tell their own stories. And then you've got swing. This is the bounce. It's what makes you want to tap your foot. So a lot of music has what we call a straight rhythm. It's very even, like marching like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super straight. But swing is different. It's got this relaxed, kind of lopsided, bouncy feel. It's more like by-do, by-do, by-do. That little bounce, that's the secret sauce. That's the swing. And this whole vibe gets even more interactive with a cool technique called call and response. It is literally a musical conversation. Think of it like a comment thread. One musician posts a musical idea with their instrument. That's the call. And then the rest of the band replies right back. Maybe the trumpet plays a short phrase, and the whole band answers with a big, powerful chord. It makes the whole thing feel like a live, breathing conversation. So how does a typical jazz song work? Well, a lot of them follow a super common level map called ABA form. It's pretty simple, actually. First, the whole band plays the main melody together. We call that the head. That's A. Then they play it again. Another A. After that comes the B section, called the bridge, which is a new part that sounds different and changes things up. And then, you guessed it, they go back to the main melody, A, one last time. So, A, A, B, A. And the solos? That's the open world part of the game. They happen in between, where players take turns improvising over those chords before everyone comes back together to play the head at the very end. So, this amazing musical language didn't stay a local secret for long. It went global. It became a language the whole world speaks. Let's take a quick look at how it all happened. Okay, super quick history lesson. It all kicks off in New Orleans in the late 1800s, this awesome mix of African and European music. Flash forward to the 1930s, and you've got the swing era. Big bands were basically the pop stars of their time, and everyone was dancing to their music. Then, jump to the 70s, things get wild. Jazz starts fusing with rock and funk, bringing in electric guitars and keyboards. And now, today, it's a full-on global language. You can find people all over the world blending jazz with their own traditional music. And that's really the point, isn't it? Jazz isn't some old thing stuck in a museum. It's alive. It's always changing, always growing, always getting new updates from players who bring their own experiences to it. So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The most important lesson in jazz, the real secret code, isn't about playing the fastest or the most complicated notes. It's about listening. It's all about teamwork and reacting in the moment to what your bandmates are doing. It's a conversation, plain and simple. So yeah, jazz is always evolving. It's mixed with rock, it's mixed with funk, it's mixed with music from pretty much everywhere. So that leaves just one question, right? What's next? If you were the musician, if you were in the band, what would you mix it with? What new idea would you bring to the conversation? Seriously, think about it.